I deserted my children on Christmas and they deserved it.
I'm going to leave you to get your own gifts.
Bad kids, I say they don't deserve parents.
I like it. And this is a Christmas episode, Sam.
This is a Christmas episode.
As you can see, with all the festivities around us.
Yeah, we got the Yule log burning.
Oh, yeah.
It smells great. Smells great. It smells like smoke. It has taken me more than I want to admit to be able to make this post. But I hope maybe some other parents who have been in similar situations can use this to feel less alone. I'm a mother of 3 beautiful and smart children and one... Oh, no.
Hold on, mama.
After giving birth to my first child, I immediately regretted my decision.
Oh.
I realized I was not fit to be a mother and did not love my child as a mother should.
That's tough,
Dude.
man. That's tough.
Imagine being the kid reading this post and being like, that's my mom.
Dang. That is not a great Christmas gift.
My husband, a couple of years after the first, convinced me to have another. At first, I was hesitant and did not want other children, but I decided that maybe this was the way to fix things. You know, like if you don't like one of something, maybe you'd like 2.
Yeah, there we go. Double or nothing again.
She said maybe the way to fix things was to give my other child a chance to have a sibling. That, of course, did not work.
Oh,
Hated the second one more than the first one.
Really?
No.
Oh, got me again.
My husband loves kids, and because we come from a culture that sees the more children, the better, I gave in once again and had my third. And then I realized the joy of children.
Did
Just
she?
kidding. I realized more children didn't really change that much for me. I was already a mother after my first, and my life was already ruined back then.
Oh,
Man, those 3 kids, they're really struggling going through this read.
Think about this, right? From the mom's perspective, you really don't know what it is to be a parent until you're there. You know what I mean?
True.
You can't really test drive fully. You know what I'm saying?
You know, if you realize you don't want to be a parent to the first kid, probably not the best idea to have 2 more.
Quintuple down.
Yeah.
Be Octomom.
Exactly.
Have as many children at
You
once.
don't really know what it means to have children until you have like SEAL Team 6 of children.
Then they raise each other.
Then they
You don't
raise
have
each
to be
other.
mom.
Yeah.
I solved it.
Yeah, raise the first kid for like 6 years. Then they just, it's a never ending cycle. You just keep raising each other.
That's my gift to you. Merry Christmas, little
That's
mama.
called delegation, baby.
That's right.
Now, I don't want anyone to think that I'm a bad mother. I am a great mother and fight to hide my depression every day. Yikes. That is one of the reasons I went all out this Christmas. I had suddenly gotten a flash of energy that I decided I wanted to use this Christmas. My husband, loving my change in attitude and spending time with family, was all game on having a huge Christmas family party, which included our parents, our siblings, and all our children. We were a lot of people, and most slept in our house on Christmas Eve. There were a lot more presents under the tree because of that. On Christmas morning, I woke up earlier than the others to prepare breakfast, and I look inside the living room and just scream, completely breaking down, crying.
Oh my God.
All of the presents had been opened. The boxes were opened and the presents were scattered everywhere.
Oh, what?
I completely lost it, and that woke up the others. When the children saw, they started crying too. They had all been so excited for the many presents this year, and the adults were in shock. Well, if you wonder who the culprit was, we quickly figured out that it was John.
Oh, no.
John did it.
Sorry.
John, put him in prison.
I'm so sorry. I just wanted to ruin your Christmas for fun.
No, it was the youngest child. He literally went downstairs with one of his open presents. They have recently entered a super defiant and curious age, and I know I can't blame them. But God, I hate them for what they did. I'm sorry, but I do. I love how it's like them.
Yeah, like not like I hate what the kid did.
I hate like the youngest.
The child.
To be specific.
And it's not even the child. It's like not even like I hate that child. It's I hate all of them.
Dang.
My husband's parents started lecturing me on how I should have been raising my child to not even think about doing things like that. My parents started arguing with my husband's parents. My children were screaming and crying, asking me, "Mommy, will we not have any presents?
No more Christmas
No
for
more
us?
Christmas?"
Do we have to make the presents for the kids next year? Are we naughty boys?
And stuff like that. My youngest was just looking at the scene innocently, and though they don't know it, it made me extremely mad. I just lost it. I walked out of the house with my purse in my pajamas and just drove away. I went to a hotel and just stayed there for a couple of days in shock, trying to process my feelings towards my children and just bawling my eyes out. I probably traumatized them. The whole time, my husband and family have been blowing up my phone, scolding me for leaving, but if I hadn't left to cool down, I don't know what I would have done. Like murder her children, probably.
Yeah, I mean, that would not be good.
I eventually went back home. The children seemed fine. Apparently, my husband had just handed them their open presents, and that took their minds off things. I mean, I guess
Smart.
they still have the presents.
Yeah, like they have the presents. Like that's probably the best thing you can do. Give them the presents. Maybe like bake some like hot cocoa. I don't know. Get some Christmas festivities going on.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, the presents aren't destroyed. They're just opened.
They're just open.
And just just rewrap them. If you got up early, I obviously sucks, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like they're destroyed. Just rewrap the presents.
No, it's over.
Rewrap the presents.
You can't unsee the carnage of pre-opened presents.
I do understand, like looking at that and be like, oh my God, the mess. But like,
there's no going back. You can't just take something and find a box and then wrap it in that box and then put a bow on it.
No, you can't.
You can't do
that. It just simply doesn't work.
It's over. It's ruined.
Presents can only be wrapped once.
Yeah. Shout out to husband for trying, but
The rest of the family helped create a somewhat Christmas for all the children. I do feel bad for leaving. I feel like my kids are going to hate me for it when they grow up. My husband still resents me too. He said I failed as a mother and that he never thought I would do something like that to the kids or him. Maybe I overreact. So I just don't know. Something triggered inside me. I don't think it was just because of the presents. This was about my whole motherhood. My family told me that someday I will be able to look back on this and laugh, but I don't think so. I really don't think so.
It was the straw that broke the reindeer's back.
I can't even look at my youngest right now. And there are some relevant comments and an update. But do you think OP, was overreacting by walking out the door and running away?
And do we know so OP walks out the door, right? Do we know that she was like staying in a hotel? We don't know the amount of time or like anything like that, right?
A couple of days.
And like basically no communication.
No communication.
That's probably
pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah, I would say an a-hole move. I wonder what her and the husband's conversations have been as well, because like it sounds like the dad is kind of like privy, if not fully aware of her like not liking being a mother and like not liking hating the children.
Probably to an extent.
Not like maybe not 100%.
Yeah.
What have they talked about in terms of that? Like, hey, this overwhelms me, whatever. Is there any sort of like compromise? I don't know. I mean, it's tough if you just hate your kids.
The youngest child.
Give away the youngest child.
I think give away the youngest child. If you're gonna tear open presents before they're due, you should become the present for another family that will like you more.
I mean, it's bad, but like it'd be bad if they gave the kid away. But if the kid ends up in a better home.
I was fucking joking, but John's like, you know what?
I was like, wait a second.
That's probably
I was like, let the devil's advocate play this all the way out here.
You're like, give the kid away. Well, maybe. I mean,
I think another family has to kidnap him.
All right, question to the audience. All right, if you just hate being a mother this much and it's obvious to all, like your husband, your children, do you just give your kids away?
If you go both ways, it sounds like easily the a-hole if it's a guy. Like, oh, I'm a guy, I don't like my kid, let me give it. It feels worse like coming from a guy.
It's still terrible, but if you're unfit to be a mother, is it better for the children to live under this heartless Christmas hating mother or to go into the foster care system?
I think it is a question to be asked. There's a lot of like women who literally have babies like pre-adopted essentially, right? And they give it away. They find a family that's like,
but then that family has they're able to like create their own kid.
It's true. It's true.
So like this is a kid that is 11.
If you if you pass it off to a great family, pass the child. God, what is wrong, guys? What has this Christmas done to me? My Christmas spirit is thrown my door.
The best gift you could give is the gift of this child to a childless family.
I feel like there is
but statistically,
if they end up in a good home,
statistically, if you don't want your kid and you give it up for adoption, that kid is more likely than anyone else to become a billionaire.
Okay.
But most likely to become like homeless. But like,
wait, most likely to become homeless, but more likely to become a billionaire?
yes.
Real game of roulette we're playing over here.
A lot of like ultra billionaires were adopted.
Steve Jobs. Yeah.
Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting question. I think the OK Gang
can
come in and fill us in more, but
what do you think about children swapping?
Mostly if you truly are like, for whatever reason, I hate being a parent. Do you try to find like a better home for them?
In this specific situation, should OP give away her children?
Yeah.
Put your answers in the comments.
Let us know. It's a big one.
All right.
But do we have an update?
Woo. So, relevant comments. I agree family therapy would be best. My husband is just extremely against all stuff, mental illness, and family problems. He is very old school, but I will definitely talk about it with him again. In my culture, it is sadly very common for the mother to be the glue that holds it all together. Maybe if it had not been my party too, it would have been easier for me, but I don't know. It is not often that our parents come over, but this year I really just wanted a big glossy family picture for some reason. It all just escalated. It was naive of me to think I could handle it, but I agree that as women, we are born in pain and carry the pain throughout our life. Birth in pain, carry the family on our shoulders in pain too. It is the job of being a woman. Damn, is that what it's like, guys?
I mean, they do have to carrying the babies.
Damn.
I don't want to push those out.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think this woman is very pessimistic. He is very much not an emotional person, and I knew that. Our relationship has been very distorted since we had children. I know he loves me as the mother of his children, but sometimes I worry he doesn't love me, you know? He does tend to put the children before me always, which I have no problem with. It is understandable. It's like, yeah, he like always like feeds the children first, picks them up from school and stuff when I want my back rubs.
You got to get in there somewhere. See, I mean, she's like fourth if all the kids are first, so if you ran a race and you were in fourth place, you'd be like,
but I'm not going to bronze, dude. I want my medal.
Exactly. At least give me a bronze, right?
Yeah. See, that's why you got to get rid of that youngest kid. But sometimes I feel as if he puts the children first, even with small things like playing with them instead of helping me with dinner, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit selfish, but I really just wish he would want to spend time with me sometimes. He's also very traditional. The wife takes care of the kids, clean, and so on, which really developed ever since we got kids. He is a great father, though. So here's the update. And there's an update. First of all, I want to say thank you for all of those who commented such nice things and helpful advice. With you guys, I have finally been able to see clearly. For some, it might be stupid that an internet site completely changes one's mind, but I have no friends, no strangers, and certainly no family telling me any of the things I have been told in this group about me. My family and the particular situation that occurred Christmas morning. Honestly, it was a wake-up call. Looking back at my life, I have started to notice the wrong ways I have been treated and the ways that my husband and his family and sometimes even mine have treated me. It is almost as if I have just become used to my role as a mother and wife and therefore forgotten myself completely, forgotten my own needs and desires. And now I finally see how unhappy I actually am. I mean, yeah.
I think she's just severely depressed. Yeah. And like,
I think it's like, I mean, maybe we were clowning on her a little too early, but like,
probably.
But like, now looking back at her story, it's like she came from a very traditional family and there a woman is just like, you are meant to be a mother and there's nothing else. Like she probably didn't even see another option. Then when she got to it, she's like, oh, this sucks. This is not what I want at all. But like when you're a woman raised in a traditional family, like there's just like no other.
You're literally thinking that's all it is, basically. Yeah. And then you literally don't know until you actually give birth. Yeah. You give birth to your first Reddit story.
And then you're like, oh shit. I'm not going to lie, this last week has been hell. I've been reading the comments and bawling my eyes out late into the night on a chair on the porch while everyone was asleep. It was almost kind of cathartic in a way. I suggested going to family therapy to my husband, but he would hear none of it. He wouldn't put the kids in it and claimed the only one who needed therapy was me. It was like talking to a wall. And when the argument got really heated, he did something that changed my view of him forever. It made me realize that I don't even know this man anymore and that I need to get the F out, even though he apologized profusely. I imagine he like hit her or something.
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I'm getting.
Seemed like something that to change her perspective that much.
I'm like thinking like, we were making all those jokes, but like she doesn't want to be like obviously she felt like being a mother was the only option, but she doesn't want to be a mother. Even in like, I'm like, is it still a good idea to like give away the kids or like divorce and then give the husband full custody?
Yeah. The kid, I really don't know on like giving away the kids because it's like you just don't know. Like if there was a family,
the husband loves the kids.
Exactly, the husband loves the kids.
I think maybe like it seems like the option that makes sense is divorce the husband, give him full custody, and then just leave.
Yeah, spend time like on yourself and investing in yourself, and then if you do want to seek a relationship again.
But is that an asshole move to the children? Probably, right?
To leave the children?
To leave the children and like to divorce the husband, like understandable.
Yeah,
but to
that
leave
makes
the children,
a lot of sense. Yeah. Well, what about this? She's around the children 24/7, constantly having to take care of them, right?
Maybe she's
if she does leave the relationship, is it easier for her and she has more space to herself and she's not she's like constantly confronted with it in the face? If she is able to leave the relationship with her husband, is it then easier to support in a certain way where it feels less like I'm constantly being bombarded? Maybe not, you know?
I don't know. All right, we'll keep going. But yeah, that was a question I had. I went to my parents' house again, bawling my eyes out, and told them everything that had happened. My mom cried with me, and my father had an aura of sadness around him, of course, as many dads would, and he had that stone cold, strong face. I knew he was hurting though. I yelled at my parents for the way that they treated me during Christmas morning, not defending me and texting me guilt-tripping messages. Also about past similar situations, even about my childhood. They were quite shocked because I never yelled and never reacted this way, and they were actually sorry, like genuinely, and they apologized.
Did everyone apologize?
No, I think the parents.
Just the parents.
But like, shouldn't you be shamed a little bit for like, or not shamed, but like to leave suddenly your like children and family and not say anything for like 3 days? Like,
yeah,
like at least to the children, isn't that like?
I think the biggest thing is not saying anything, because you could be like, at least be like, hey, I'm so overwhelmed around. I need some space. Here's why. Like, I do think they're owed some communication just to understand what's going on at least. And yeah, I think that's like probably level one of what should have happened.
What you guys think?
Yeah.
Put your answers in the comments. But then I dropped the next big bomb on them.
What is it?
I want a divorce. I'm done.
There it is.
You guys were incredibly right. I would die, go insane, or something even worse in that environment. And I see that now. It's like I have a moment of clarity and I had to act now not to fall back into the old ways. They were, of course, hesitant in the start, but soon came to realize that it was for the best. Honestly, everyone realized it. A lot was discussed at their house that is way too long and complicated to talk about here. So that's what I did. I went and filed for divorce. He, of course, was incredibly enraged as I was packing my things at the house with my parents. He kept telling me slurs and hurtful things the whole time, but I knew I had to stay strong. Now, a bit of information on the divorce. Also, if you're going through a divorce or you're being divorced by someone, the way to get them back is to not call them slurs.
Yeah. Rule 101. Maybe 101. Not trying to like be the biggest a-hole ever.
Yeah.
Is more, you catch more flies with honey.
Truth. Now, a bit of information on the divorce. Firstly, his parents are rather wealthy. He can easily get amazing lawyers and legal advice and so on. I knew going into this, I would probably not get anything out of the divorce, which was exactly how it went. The house, the cars, and the kids, he wanted it all, but I didn't care, which I guess kind of what she wanted. Like she didn't want the kids anyway, right?
But I guess it's like and they didn't specify if like she helped buy the house or anything. Well, she probably has she said she had like a more traditional mother role. So likely not. So she didn't get any of the assets, but she also
just wants her life back.
She just wants her life back. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. The house, the cars, the kids, he wanted it all, but I didn't care. I just want the divorce finalized. If that's his criteria for getting my life back, I'll take it. A long legal battle wouldn't be fair to the kids anyways, and I wouldn't even be able to take care of them if I, for some reason, actually won. I know they will be loved, cared for, and happy with their father, and that is the best I can give them right now. I will be able to see them once a month if I see fit though, and for me, that's perfect. I won't describe too much about how saying goodbye to the kids went, of course, but it was heartbreaking in many ways, but it's too late to look back now. We've explained to them together about what's going to happen and how it's going to be and so on. The divorce is still being finalized, so technically I am not completely free, but in spirit, I feel so freaking free. It is as if the weight on my shoulders has been lifted. Of course, I carry the guilt and sadness for my kids deep inside, which I guess, I think that makes sense.
Yeah,
like, I think she probably feels like she's let down her kids in some ways. Like they didn't choose this, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, I want you to have a great mother, but also at the same time, like it just doesn't click for her. Yeah.
But I keep telling myself that I did what was best for both them and me, which I think is true.
Yeah.
I send them thoughts every day, and I plan on writing them a long letter each about my side of the story. I want them to understand that none of this is their fault. I currently live with my parents, and I feel a sense of sadness from them too. They will, of course, miss the big family and the kids, but I think they know they had to put me first this time. Of course, they do not agree with everything, but I never expected them to. Talking about my husband's family, on the other hand, my God, the guilt tripping. We know this isn't you. The messages were endless. I simply had to block them in the end. It was too much. When the divorce is finalized, we will let the siblings know as well. I have no idea how they are going to take it. My husband's siblings had just blocked me, which honestly was fine for me. I found out because I kind of imagined they would do something like that and had to check after blocking his parents. I know some people may see me as a horrible mother in person, but for once, I choose to listen to my heart with a little push from some people online. Thank you all once again. I am at this moment looking for hotels in Spain, just waiting for the divorce to be finalized and finished. I'm visiting an old friend over there that I haven't been allowed to visit in years. I had a little savings outside my marriage, enough to spend a week or two over there. Luckily, my workplace is owned by a friend that was super understanding, so they let me have a month off to figure out a place to live and have some time for myself.
Wow.
It is as if I am in a dream and I'm scared of waking up, and suddenly I feel like a new woman. I can't wait for the plane ride away from the country, and even if it is just for a little while, it will feel as if I am living a truly new life. I wish you all the luck and joy throughout your life. Lots of love, Alice. And there is a comment that I just want to read to finish it off.
Yeah.
So this commenter said, I am so happy to see this update from you. I read your initial post when you posted it and my heart felt very heavy. Most people wouldn't have the strength to leave that kind of situation temporarily on Christmas or permanently like you are now. I wish you success and happiness. And then another person said, GOP, I'm so freaking proud of you. I remember reading your original post and being so mad that everyone acted like you were the only one who had done anything wrong. Though I'm sorry this ultimately ended up in your whole world blowing up, I'm really happy for you that you're finally doing things for you. I really hope you take some time to yourself to work on yourself and get some therapy and just enjoy being you. Honestly, good for you. Just good for you. And that is where it kind of ends up. So question for you guys, and I guess also for John, like, do you think OP did the right thing in basically realizing she is unhappy being a mother and unhappy being in a relationship and saying, I'm leaving both and I'm going to let my kids take full custody and I'm going to end the marriage?
Yeah, I think that she definitely, like we talked about in the break, leaving the relationship seemed like the most obvious thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, give yourself space from your now ex-husband, go out, live your life. I mean, we ended up in I feel like a complete 180
from where we started,
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Completely different world.
You know, because it like I still do think it is. I mean, now we know the backstory of everything that she was going through.
Yeah.
The fact that we knew kind of that she didn't want to be a mother, but I think I started empathizing with her more in like the update. But I think it generally probably is a dick move to just abandon everyone on Christmas. But now that we know like all the societal and cultural pressure that was put on her, like I feel like I understand that she just reached a breaking point now and had to leave.
Yeah, I feel like in the relationship too, you know, like if you have like an abusive person, like run essentially.
Yeah, run.
So yeah, I think she made the right decision there, and I think she is trying and putting effort into like, okay, how can I, you know, will it actually help? Who knows?
Yeah.
As far as like, you know, writing a letter to the children, trying to explain other means of trying to connect with them. At least she's trying something.
Yeah. And she's giving a great Christmas present to herself with a trip to Spain to see this mysterious person that her husband never let her see.
Oh, why did I not just connect those dots until now? Maybe that's a whole present in a box, if you catch my drift. Yeah. But all of that aside, I think she did make the right move in the divorce. Hopefully now, my hope would be if she has like a little bit more space for herself, she can figure out like, okay,
the relationship with the children.
The relationship with the children. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. But let us know in the comments what you think. We love hearing from you. And with that, I think we'll get into the second Christmas story of this Christmas episode.
Let's ho do it. My boyfriend's family is forcing me to wear this for Christmas. No, here's what I'm gonna do.
Christmas lingerie with like the Rudolph noses right on the nipples.
Sweetie, I really want a baby for Christmas this year, so here's a little something I gave you to get the vibes going, you know?
You know how you get those vibes going. You act like a ho, ho, ho.
Oh, goodness. Christmas came early. My boyfriend and I have been dating for a few months, and he invited me to meet his family for the first time for Christmas dinner. Little high stakes.
First time? 3 months to Christmas dinner feels...
way too long.
I feel like Mormon
Bring your
or something.
Tinder date. Be like, yo, babes, you want to join my fam for Christmas?
No, we've hooked up only like 3 times, but let's
hook up there.
Let's hook up there. Nothing hotter than hooking up than my childhood bedroom.
Riley says no sex. According to him, it's his brother's, he has 3, family tradition to make new partners wear an ugly Christmas sweater of their choosing as a rite of passage, his words, for entering the family.
Okay. It's kind of cute.
But 3 months in, as a rite of passage for entering the family, that's like a lot of pressure.
I mean, maybe they're like Southern or something and they do things quick over there.
At first, I thought the concept was cute. I had imagined things like Santa getting stuck in the chimney, lights, bells, etc. But when they mailed me the sweater, my jaw dropped. It was possibly the most vulgar Christmas sweater I've ever seen.
What was it?
Without getting into it.
Wait, what do you mean without getting into it? The whole point of these stories is to get into it.
We're not getting into it. Let's just say that Santa was making gestures / participating in an act that was not okay for children to see.
Santa has been naughty.
I personally thought it was gross, and it was bad enough that if someone at work saw me wear it, I'd definitely get in trouble. I told my boyfriend that in no way would I wear this, but he said that I was being a wet blanket and unsupportive of his family tradition. A wet blanket? What an insult.
Yeah, dude. I've called people wet blankets before.
I've never done that. I'm going to add that to my vocabulary now.
Yeah, wet blanket, wet noodle.
Wet noodle's good.
Personality, like a plank of wood.
I said I'd wear any other sweater and would even pay for one myself, but he just called me a spoilsport. I do love my boyfriend, so I actually considered wearing it and asking people not to take photos as a compromise. But the day of the party, I decided not to wear it last minute. I had to drive separately from work, so my boyfriend didn't know about this prior. When his brother opened the door, he eyed me up and down, and I could tell that he wasn't happy that I wasn't wearing the sweater. My boyfriend was really pissed when he saw me, and we argued in the guest room for a little bit. His brothers teased me for being uptight, and I could tell the jokes embarrassed my boyfriend. I ended up leaving the party early without my boyfriend, and we've been fighting since via text. Now I'm thinking that I was the a-hole for taking the joke too seriously. We do have an update, Sam, to finish us off.
I mean, we just got to know what the sweater is.
Sam's like, I don't care if you're the a-hole or not. What was on the sweater?
Well, I think
which is a good point. It is important.
I think how graphic the sweater is determines if she's the a-hole or not.
Also, like the thing that just like grinds my gears, that just cracks my chestnuts, is when you take something that could be a fun, silly tradition, and then they're like shaming her into trying to wear this like super, like just have her wear like a silly, stupid sweater.
Yeah.
Like, really, that's all you need to do.
Yeah. And if it isn't silly or like raunchy enough, then just don't date her again.
Leave her on the kick her out.
Yeah, on Christmas Day.
Stand up at the table in front of everyone.
Into the chimney and light that up.
But Sam,
John,
we do have an update.
Let's hear it.
Santa brought it early. I really appreciate everyone who took the time to message me. After reading your comments, I really thought long and hard about my boyfriend's family and whether or not I wanted to be a partner with someone who wouldn't respect my boundaries. We got in one final fight when he nagged me to apologize to all of his brothers separately.
About wearing a Christmas sweater, that seems like a little excessive.
Like, what?
Apologize individually for not wearing the sexual Santa sweater.
Imagine they just all all get in a line. They're like, I'm waiting. I'm so sorry for not wearing a sweater. I'm so sorry for not wearing the sweater. I'm so sorry for
not
what are we
good
doing?
enough. I want more hobbling. Where are the tears?
Wear your Jester Christmas hat and
Show
dance
me
for me.
what you got.
I told him that if he wore the sweater they bought for me at our Friendsmas party, which had about 15 or 20 people, then I'd apologize.
Oh, he didn't wear the required sweater. Oh, we got a little hypocrite on our hands.
What? He immediately freaked out and said no, and tried to argue that they wouldn't understand because it's not their tradition. It sounds
the same.
I explained that it had nothing to do with tradition, but rather my personal comfort level and whether or not the sweater was an appropriate article of clothing. I asked him why he felt uncomfortable wearing the sweater in front of friends. He refused to answer. He froze up.
Wait, so he won't wear this raunchy sweater in front of his friends?
Yes.
I don't think it's the same. Because that there's a specific tradition of like wearing this ugly Christmas
it's
party.
Even less pressure because it's like more awkward to wear that like around your family than it is around like your friends that are like your age. You know what I mean?
But if everyone's expecting you to wear, it's like everyone has this expectation of you wearing it, so it's not like it's like in that family it's weirder not to wear it than to wear it because everyone's expecting
them.
To them.
Yes, not to the person wearing it. But she's basically just making the point like if it's so chill, like just wear it. Like why not? If it's not a big deal at all.
Yeah.
And then he's like, nah, I'm good. He froze up, and that's when I realized it wasn't going to work out. He knew that it was inappropriate, and he himself refused to wear it in public, yet he was too stubborn to apologize and be on my side. I told him it wasn't going to work out, so I guess I'm going into New Year's single as a Pringle.
Whoa.
A few friends found out about the breakup already, and this might have been what made me an a-hole now. I sent the photo of the sweater, and I explained what happened. I'm also glad to know that even people IRL were grossed out. I don't know what will happen with his friends.
Show me the sweater. Show me the fucking sweater.
Please. Like, this is Reddit for God's sakes.
What is the sweater? You can send Riley. There must be a link.
I'm looking it up right now.
I don't know what will happen with his friendships with those people, but it's none of my business at this point. Thanks, guys, and happy holidays.
Wow. I just want to know what the sweater is. I just want to know so bad.
This is maybe one of the worst information teases of all time.
I know, because it's like it all is dependent. Like I can't believe so much would
ride on one detail that we basically don't have.
We don't know
at our disposal.
I mean, really, it comes down to if she's not comfortable with it, you shouldn't make her wear it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't make someone do something you're not comfortable with, or they're not comfortable with. But if it means that much to you, then maybe it's an indicator that you shouldn't be in the relationship with them.
Yeah.
You know?
To me, like if I'm the boyfriend in the family, it just takes the fun out of it. If someone's not in, like how is this still fun? If I'm like, yo, let me force you to do this thing, I'm not enjoying myself anymore.
Yeah.
Like the joke is funny when everyone's in on it.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Fun. And also like, it would be different if like everyone wore the sweater, not just the new people in the relationship.
Yeah.
Like I feel like everyone should wear it. And then it would be kind of even more funny.
Yeah.
But with this story, I still want to know what the Christmas sweater looks like. But at the end of the day, it comes down to she's not comfortable with it.
No.
He should not force her to do something that she's not comfortable with. He can suggest it, but ultimately, like he can't force her. But again, if you want to be with someone who is down to wear a sexual Santa sweater, and that's really important to you, then I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But you can't force anyone to
maybe
to
just show the disconnect in who they are. I mean, they've only been dating for a few months.
Yeah, maybe I think it showed the disconnect between them as people.
Yeah.
And maybe they're not right for each other.
I think so.
Sometimes, a Christmas present is realizing that you should be dating other people.
The present is divorce.
The present is divorce. Divorce. All right. Well, tell us what you want for Christmas. Put it in the comments and we'll talk to you very, very soon.
Happy holidays.